Welcome to the Susan Brender Show. It's all about you, featuring shows on health and wellness, the performing arts, politics, and people who inspire you to be your best. And now, here's Susan Brender.
I'm Susan Brender, and this is the Susan Brender Show. Today, my guest is Sydney, and Sydney Halper is a senior honors student at the University of Idaho, majoring in clothing, textiles, and design with an emphasis in marketing. She feels fortunate to have been adopted at a young age into a loving family that instilled in her compassionate virtues and strong ethics. I want to welcome to the Susan Brender Show, Sydney Halper.
Hi.
Sydney, you are an amazing young woman. You have hopes to use the Miss Idaho USA platform to support and publicize adoption and advocacy initiatives. Tell our audience what is that all about?
Well, I was adopted when I was 1 year old, and I understand the struggles that you can go through, the questions that you face, and having those experiences and having been Miss Idaho USA, I can truly be able to help the people that need help. And by telling my story, I can truly help those people and answer the questions that they have. And it's been really important lately. I've been working with Together We Rise, which is a foster care innovation. And I've partnered with a girl from the University of Idaho, Brittany, and we have a goal of raising money this next semester toward these sweet cases. And what these are they're duffel bags where they take home to home. It's a blanket, a stuffed animal, and a hygiene kit. And a lot of times these foster kids just have a trash bag and they just take that with them from home to home. And here we're trying to be able to help those kids knowing what it is that they're going through.
Sydney, you have an understanding, as you said, because you were put into that situation of adoption. And tell us what it's like to be in a situation where suddenly you find yourself with a family as you grow up that loves you and gives you the compassion that you talked about. And is it like that for other children?
Well, I can say that I was definitely fortunate enough to be adopted into a family who treats me as if I was biological to them. And some kids really, really aren't that fortunate, and those are the kids that I truly want to be there for. And with those kids, it is difficult, but I still know what they're going through because you still ask those same questions. And I just have to tell them to really do positive self-talk and know that I'm there for them and I know what they're going through. And I think that even if you have one adult who can be there in your life and help you, it can make all the difference in the long run.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure. Now, you quoted Mahatma Gandhi, and you said that Gandhi encouraged us to be the change you wish to see in the world.
Right.
Now, you seem to do that exactly. And how did you choose Gandhi? Because Gandhi's profound.
Yeah, I think that it's just I saw this quote and it struck me. It's something that stuck with me. And as Miss Idaho USA, because I came up with that quote, and I've kind of lived by it for a long time, but as Miss Idaho USA and having this platform and so much more of a voice in the community, that quote means everything. Everything before, but especially everything this year, because I have this 1 year to make a difference, and I'm going to do the best that I can possibly do.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk a little bit about you. So, what got you into pageants? Because not everybody, first of all, not everybody is pretty as you, and not everybody is as smart.
Oh.
So, yeah, well, it's true.
Well,
Let's face the facts. So what got you into these pageants?
I always modeled when I was younger, so there was always, I loved the glam side of everything, the photo shoots, the runway competition, but not only that, when I was approached about doing the Miss Idaho USA pageant, I have done some research. I had talked to some women who had done it before, and it just seemed like such a wonderful opportunity. Like I said, it gives you so much more of a voice in the community, and once I found that I could work with this platform and make a difference, I absolutely knew that it was something I wanted to do.
Yeah. Now, this experience that you're having, explain it to our audience. What is it like to be in a pageant, and is it good for everyone? Do you have to be pretty? Do you have to have some kind of intelligence? What does it require?
Well, I can tell you that when I first got into pageantry, I really didn't know everything it was about. I just knew the stereotypical stuff that you see on TV for entertainment or what you hear people talk about. But truly, in pageantry, you're growing so much. You're learning so many different skills. And talking about having to be pretty and all this outside stuff is not necessarily what it's about. The thing is you go in, you meet these judges, and they are judging you on the basis of asking you these questions. What are you giving them? How are you going to make a change? What is the difference that you're looking to make? And this is really, really the importance of becoming a title holder. And that, to me, is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, this has been a very controversial issue, and what I mean by that is that many parents, they want their children, of course, to be famous, to be popular, to be in pageants, to act, you name it. Now, there is some kind of distortion for me because sometimes I see people pushing little children to do that. And it just doesn't seem like the thing that a little child should be doing. Do you agree or do you disagree with me?
I would have to say that I did not get into pageants when I was a young girl, so I don't have previous experience there. But what I can tell you is that if a parent is putting their child in pageants to have them learn these skills, public speaking skills, even at a young age, if this is something that they're trying to have them develop, then I think that that's a different story. If they're trying to get them out there by doing these little girl pageants and just wanting to primp them up with the little girl, this is not something that they want to be involved in, then I don't think it's right. But it depends. If you're doing it for the right reasons, then I think it's okay. But again, I don't have previous experience in doing it myself. Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's pros and cons.
Yeah. Now, before we continue the conversation about you being Miss USA and being in these pageants, I want to talk a little bit about you. I want you to tell the audience what you're like. Kind of give them a sense of who is Sydney. What does Sydney like to do? What is Sydney all about? How does she help in society? I think it would be interesting for our audience to know about those things.
Yeah, well, as just being Sydney before I became Miss Idaho USA, I can tell you that making a difference in my community was always something that was so big to me, and working with the youth has been something I've always done. And I go to the schools, I read to the kids, I talk with them, I answer questions that they have. Even before Miss Idaho USA, this was something that was my goal. It was on my mind. It was on my radar. And, not only that, of course, I like to do, other recreational things, skiing, basketball, go to the gym, the regular things that people like to do. But it's always been my main goal in helping people. And as Miss Idaho USA, kind of try to carry this out. And even after Miss Idaho USA, go on and carry this out.
Yeah. Wow. Very admirable. Now, okay, so let's get into your life now. What has it been like being Miss Idaho thus far?
It has been absolutely incredible. It's been more than I thought it was going to be. It's really a dream come true. And I can tell you that one of the just best parts about being Miss Idaho USA is the voice that you have. These kids, when you have that sash and that crown on, and the kids come up to you and they just look up to you so much, and they ask you questions and they take your advice to heart. They really do. And the parents, they're so grateful for you that you're there, that you're making a difference in these child's life, and it's just been so incredible.
Yeah. So, okay, now, what was it like being at the Miss Universe pageant when everything happened at the end? I mean, what was that like?
Well, I was actually sitting in the orchestra pit, so that's right there, front row, practically on the stage, and I can just tell you that it was so emotional because being right there, I could feel the emotions of the Philippines. I could feel the emotions of Colombia, USA, the girls that were on the stage. I could feel Steve Harvey's emotions. It was just so shocking. Everybody in the audience was shocked, and the way everything played out, it was hard to watch, and I kind of started tearing up just because I felt for all of the women. I felt for Steve Harvey, the audience, the friends, the family members that were there. So it was a very emotional time.
I bet. Now, here's something that I want to know. When children are and adults and everybody else are in this audience and they're cheering on their child or whomever, is there a sense of well-being? And here's the thing that's most important. Now, we live in a world today, as you know, and you're a young woman, but you're a very smart one. And we live in a world of strife where there is horrible things happening around the world. And is this event a way for people to get to know one another, to understand what it's like to be an Afghani or a Saudi Arabian or an Iraqi, a South American? You know, is it a way for people to learn to get along well?
I believe that it is. At the Miss Universe pageant, there is so much diversity. And you can just tell everybody's there. They're having a great time. You see in the audience, the family, the friends that are there. It is a way to get along. It's a way for everybody to really come together and more so unite as one, to cheer on whoever it is that they're there for. But not only that, if they don't make it, find somebody else to cheer on for. Afterwards, everybody comes together and everybody's talking. Everybody is joyful. So yeah, I think it's a really great way to kind of bring everybody together and have everybody be talking about something that they have, this common interest. So yeah, I think that it's extremely important in that sense.
Yeah, very interesting point. Now, what kind of preparation are you doing for Miss USA? Because I guess that's your goal for the future, is it not?
It is. That's my dream. That's why I'm doing this. You have even more of a voice in the community as Miss USA, an even bigger platform to work with, which is really exciting to think about. But in preparation for Miss USA, I have a couple of interview consultants that I'm working with. I have like 3 walking coaches. You work with different makeup artists, hairstylists. They're learning and teaching you everything that you need to know before you go to Miss USA so that you can be fully prepared and represent your state to the best of your ability.
Mm-hmm. Now, people in your state probably know about you because you're a model, and are you doing anything else that stands out? Now, you're involved, as I mentioned in my opening, you're involved in clothing, textiles, and designs.
Correct.
So let's hear more about that.
So I'm a clothing, textiles, and design major with an emphasis in marketing, which has been really exciting. I work with a group there on campus, and what we do is we kind of come together. We talk about current events that are going on in the fashion world. We talk about our fashion sense, and we kind of bring it all together. And then we revolve that back to the classroom. And there we all come together, and this next semester I'm going to be making a 6-piece line before I graduate in spring in 2016 May.
Now, what type of clothing are you going to be doing? Is it very conventional? Is it out of something unusual? Do you get your inspiration from other countries to design things that are again unusual in many ways? What's it all look like?
Well, I can tell you that being a part of pageantry has really helped me in my career path. And the reason is that I am now going to be designing dresses. So far, I have been taking an Adobe Illustrator class where I have all of my designs laid out on the computer. And this next semester, I'm going to be putting them together. So yes, I am inspired by many, many different countries, many different fashion styles. Miss Universe, seeing these women on this stage inspire me. Seeing the women at Miss USA inspire me to kind of come up with this line that may not be extremely different, but is definitely unique in its own way.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now, would you encourage other people to do what you're doing, or is it a very difficult field?
I would absolutely encourage people to do this. It's an art. It's an art form. It is a way to express yourself, and I can tell you that I see all of these people. We have women, we have men in this major, and everybody comes up with something so amazing and unique to themselves, and everybody has a different target market, and it truly is incredible. So I absolutely encourage people to get out there and express themselves in this kind of way.
Yeah, very interesting. Now, why should, we're going back to the issue of Miss USA, why should you be Miss USA? What's your reason? And if you were asked by some of the judges there, what would you say?
I would say that I believe I should be the next Miss USA because I do have this unique story. Being adopted, really, I'm going to be able to advocate for adoption initiatives by telling my story, my experience, and answer these questions for people. And not only that, be able to advocate for the Miss Universe organization's platform for breast and ovarian cancer awareness because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer about 2 years ago, and she had to undergo chemotherapy treatment. Mm-hmm. And I would really be able to talk on this topic. And of course you can talk about the facts and you can talk numbers, but truly I would be able to talk about my experiences, the feelings that I had waiting for my mom to go into surgery, waiting for her to get out of surgery, and the experiences that we had afterwards, and be able to help those people that are currently going through that because I do understand how difficult it can be.
Yeah, very, very difficult. It sounds like it. And now your mother went through a pretty horrendous time, and you were a young woman. You are a young woman. Did it teach you to do something about your health and to look into any kind of possibility that perhaps there is a way for you to spread the message to all the people around the world that they have to look into their health and eat right, not smoke, do the kinds of things that are a very difficult and a very sad thing that they do. I mean, do you pass that message around?
Yes, absolutely. Really, I learned from this whole experience is going through this and seeing my mom. I mean, she did it so graciously, but watching her, I can tell you that forever, and I can tell you that she'll make sure that I do this. I'm going to, make sure that I'm checking myself, making sure when I get to the age where I have to get mammograms that I make sure that I do that. As Miss Idaho USA, I'm making sure that I will be spreading that word, making sure that people are staying healthy, making sure that they are getting those mammograms, because not only am I working with the youth, but I have people my age, older, younger, reaching out to me and asking me questions, asking me for advice. So that's definitely something that I tell them is stay healthy, make sure this is something that you're looking into, because when you think that your whole world is falling apart, your mom, your everything, your rock, your hero, is really everything seems like it's just coming down. So you need to make sure you're staying healthy and you're staying on top of it so something like this doesn't happen.
Right. Now, let's talk about the future. What are you looking forward to doing most?
I'm looking forward to Miss USA, of course, everything that comes out of that. And after Miss USA, I'm going to be looking really forward to really learning the ins and outs of the fashion industry, being a buyer, being a stylist, and eventually I would really like to open up my own evening gown store, helping women find their dress for the pageant world that makes them feel absolutely beautiful, because I know that feeling and I want to be able to give that feeling to these other girls.
Oh, that's great. Well, Sydney Halper has been our guest on the show today, and she's a very interesting young woman who is an honor student and is looking forward to being Miss USA. And so, Sydney, tell everybody if they want to talk to you to get all this inspiration and knowledge that you have, how do they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me via Facebook or Instagram. My Facebook they can look up is Miss Idaho USA. Very simple. You can just message me on there and talk with me. And I talk about anything. People want to talk about what they're going through, anything, because I understand I've been through stuff. So I'm there for people to help them. And not only that, they can look me up on Instagram under the same Miss Idaho USA.
Well, again, I want to say that you've been an inspiration to everybody. It doesn't matter whether our audience is young or old. You are very, very wonderful and very special. And I want to thank you, Sydney, for being on the Susan Brender Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Susan.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you for listening to the Susan Brender Show.